I feel compelled to open myself for a message for you. If you haven't been to my channel before, my name is Christopher Armstrong, and I am a guide here to help you to transform your life so that you can take all of those fears that have been holding you back, love them, set them aside, and take a leap into the path, the life that you were meant to live. So let's see what wants to come through for you right now. In February of this year, we began the cycle in the ancient Mayan calendar, the cycle that begins with the wind. The wind blowing here now where I'm at perfectly reflects the dynamism of this year. There will be many changes for you, for many people. And there are two different ways to approach the energy of the rest of this year, now that we have passed the summer solstice point. You can either allow the wind to whip you around, the chaos that surrounds you, politically, financially, whatever it may be. You can allow it to carry you like a leaf in the wind and throw you around. Or you can learn how to windsurf. You can prepare your sail, ready your boat or your board, and get ready to have the ride of your life. Don't be surprised if the wind carries you to a whole new place, much like it did me. A whole new continent, a new culture. And don't be surprised if at first, like a seed carried by the wind into new territory, into another valley, that you might feel a bit uncomfortable before your roots firmly take hold. When that worry comes or that fear comes, best to identify, what is it exactly that I'm feeling? Just recently I was experiencing a tremendous amount of worry, and I sat down, and there's a 4-step practice, and please forgive me if I don't remember all 4 right now, but from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Start Living and Stop Worrying. And he says that a worry is best identified, because if it just bounces around in your head, it builds this pressure and this steam without you really knowing what it is that you're worrying about. And so he says, well, write it down. So you can write down, what am I worrying about? Okay, so then this is what I'm worrying about. Next, I'm going to say, well, what is it that I'm afraid that's going to happen? And then this is what I can do about it. And then this is what I'm going to do about it. And he says most of the problems that worry brings us are defeated when we identify clearly what it is that we're worried about. There's also a video I saw years ago from Tim Ferriss where he talks about fear setting instead of goal setting, which is basically just saying, okay, I know I have these fears, so I'm going to write them down, and I'm going to ask myself, like, what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst thing that could happen if this goes wrong? What's the best thing that could happen? What are ways that I can mitigate this? What are things that I can do if it happens and I have to recover or respond? Fascinating what we can do when we write things down. By hand is recommended. Typing is good, but by hand always seems to be better. You engage those psychomotor neurons, and you're speaking to yourself, oftentimes even channeling the unconscious worries and fears. But by writing them down and then responding to them, or sometimes even just crossing them out, or saying this is ridiculous, you'll actually start to rewire or at least loosen the fears in your unconscious mind, because your unconscious mind is engaging in this through not only the words, the thinking, but the motor neurons that are engaged with the writing. Perhaps someday there'll be a generation where handwriting isn't really a thing and they'll have to text thumb type these responses. But it's very clear this is a dynamic year, and it will be a good year for you when you choose to ride the waves, so to speak, to let the wind carry you towards the direction you wish to go in. And if you're not clear on that direction, here's a good time. It's not too late. You can already feel the wind whipping, and there's still time. What is it that you want? What is it that your heart most desires? What is it that if you had it, you think that you might actually even be afraid of having it? Because it could be so good, too good almost. What is it that your heart calls you to? There are so many different ways to reflect on this. It's one of the key aspects of the work that I do, is I help people to get in touch with their soul's vision and then turn that into steps and goals and plans. If that's something that interests you, there's information below on how you can dive deeper into that. But you can also simply start by asking yourself the question, if money were no issue, what would I be doing with my time? What would light me up most? As Bashar often says, do what excites you the most at that time, at that moment, and follow that excitement as you can, to the best of your ability, to the end of that thread. And for me, right now, it's sitting and watching the sunset. Sharing this message with you. So for you, it could be something similar. It could be something entirely different. But ask yourself, what would excite me the most right now? Not what would pay the bills, what would be the most logical thing to do, what would be the thing that my parents would approve of, what would be the thing that would keep me safe for the next year, but what would be the thing that would excite me most? And write it down. I'm really glad that I brought 2 extra layers with me right now, because it is so windy. So here's the thing. This is a year of change. Just as the old world dies, chaos will no doubt be a part of the process. But it's your decision to either put your hands up, since you're on the roller coaster ride anyway, you're strapped in, and have a good time. Know where you're going, know that you're in for a ride. Or panic. Allow the worry and the fear to eat away at you. And do probably what you've been doing most of your life, which is numbing, soothing, coping, dopamine hits, cheap dopamine, drinking, smoking, whatever it is. All of these things are there to support you as you get whipped around in the wind, feeling a false sense of safety because you have a little pacifier. So get ready for what's to come. It will be fun if you choose for it to be. Expect the unexpected, and if you're feeling the call to move, time to move. I'll leave it at that. Thank you again for joining me. If you want deeper support in this process while the wind is whipping it this hard, and you want guidance, I can help you with that. If you're feeling a call, you're guided to this channel, there's a reason. There are no mistakes, only magic.